The Andy Griffith Show is an American sitcom first televised on CBS between October 3, 1960 and April 1, 1968. The show, a semi-spin-off from an episode of The Danny Thomas Show, stars Andy Griffith, who portrays the widowed sheriff of the fictional small community of Mayberry, North Carolina. His life is complicated by an inept, but well-meaning deputy, Barney Fife, a spinster aunt and housekeeper, Aunt Bee, and a precocious young son, Oppie. Local ne'er-do-wells, bumbling pals, and temperamental girlfriends further complicate his life. Regarding the time period of the show, Griffith said in a Today Show interview, "Well, though we never said it, and though it was shot in the 1960s, it had a feeling of the 1930s. It was when we were doing it. Of a time gone by, the series never placed lower than 7th in the Nielsen ratings and ended its final season at number 1. It has been ranked by TV Guide as the 9th best and 13th best show in American television history." Though neither Griffith nor the show won awards during its 8-season run, series co-stars Knotts and Bavier accumulated a combined total of 6 Emmy Awards. The series spawned its own spin-off, Gomer Pyle, USMC, a sequel series, Mayberry RFD, and a reunion telemovie, Return to Mayberry. The black-and-white reruns currently air on TV Land and MeTV, while the complete series is available on DVD. All 8 seasons are also now available by streaming video services such as Netflix. An annual festival celebrating the show, Mayberry Days, is held each year in Griffith's hometown of Mount Airy, North Carolina. The show's enduring popularity has also generated significant show-related merchandise. Origin: Sheldon Leonard, producer of The Danny Thomas Show, and Danny Thomas, hired veteran comedy writer Arthur Stander to create a pilot show for Andy Griffith, featuring him as Justice of the Peace and newspaper editor in a small town. At the time, Broadway, film, and radio star Griffith was interested in attempting a television role, and the William Morris Agency told Leonard that Griffith's rural background and previous rustic characterizations were suited to the part. After conferences between Leonard and Griffith in New York, Griffith flew to Los Angeles and filmed the episode. On February 15, 1960, the Danny Thomas Show episode, Danny Meets Andy Griffith, aired. In the episode, Griffith played fictional Sheriff Andy Taylor of Mayberry, North Carolina, who arrests Danny Williams for running a stop sign. Future players in the Andy Griffith Show, Frances Bavier and Ron Howard, appeared in the episode as townspeople Henrietta Perkins and Oppie Taylor. General Foods, sponsor of the Danny Thomas Show, had first access to the spin-off and committed to it immediately. On October 3, 1960 at 9:30 p.m., The Andy Griffith Show made its debut. Though the show was set in the 1960s, Andy Griffith and others have said that the show often felt as though it was from earlier times, such as the 1930s. Griffith was referring to the nostalgic feel the show often portrayed to the viewer, not that it was intended to take place in a previous era. This is evident by the Ford squad car his character drove in the show, which was usually that current year's model. In the 4th episode of the 2nd season, a distinct reference was made to the current year being 1961. In the episode, a municipal bond issued in 1861 was discovered and was payable for exactly 100 years of interest. Production: the show's production team included producers Aaron Rubin and Bob Ross. First-season writers included Jack Ellenson, Charles Stewart, Arthur Stander and Frank Tarloff, Benedict Friedman and John Fenton Murray, Leo Solomon and Ben Gershman, and Jim Fritzell and Everett Greenbaum. During Season 6, Greenbaum and Fritzell left the show and Rubin departed for Gomer Pyle, USMC, a show which he owned in part. Writer Harvey Bullock left after Season 6. Bob Sweeney directed the first 3 seasons save the premiere. The show was filmed at DeSalu Studios, with exteriors filmed at 40 Acres in Culver City, California. Woodsy locales were filmed north of Beverly Hills at Franklin Canyon. Don Knotts, who knew Griffith professionally and had seen the Danny Thomas Show episode, called Griffith during the developmental stages of the show and suggested the sheriff character needed a deputy. Griffith agreed. Knotts auditioned for the show's creator and executive producer, Sheldon Leonard, and was offered a 5-year contract playing Barney Fife. The show's theme music, The Fishin' Hole, was composed by Earl Hagen and Herbert Spencer, with lyrics written by Everett Sloan, who also guest-starred as Jubal Foster in the episode, The Keeper of the Flame. Whistling in the opening sequence, as well as the closing credits sequence, was performed by Earl Hagen. One of the show's tunes, the Mayberry March, was reworked a number of times in different tempo, styles and orchestrations as background music. The show's sole sponsor was General Foods, with promotional consideration paid for by Ford Motor Company. Griffith's development of Andy Taylor. Initially, Griffith played Taylor as a heavy-handed country bumpkin, grinning from ear to ear and speaking in a hesitant, frantic manner. The style recalled that used in the delivery of his popular monologues such as, "What it was football." He gradually abandoned the rustic Taylor, and developed a serious and thoughtful characterization. Producer Aaron Rubin recalled, "He was being that marvelously funny character from No Time for Sergeants, Will Stockdale, a role Griffith played on stage and in film. One day he said, 'My God, I just realized that I'm the straight man. I'm playing straight to all these kooks around me.' He didn't like himself in first-year reruns, and in the next season he changed, becoming this Lincoln-esque character, as Griffith stopped portraying some of the sheriff's more unsophisticated character traits and mannerisms. It was impossible for him to create his own problems and troubles in the manner of other central sitcom characters such as Lucy in I Love Lucy or Archie Bunker in All in the Family, whose problems were the result of their temperaments, philosophies and attitudes. Consequently, the characters around Taylor were employed to create the problems and troubles, with rock-solid Taylor stepping in as problem solver, mediator, advisor, disciplinarian and counselor. Plot and characters. The series' plot revolves around Sheriff Andy Taylor and his life in sleepy, slow-paced fictional Mayberry, North Carolina. Sheriff Taylor's level-headed approach to law enforcement makes him the scourge of local moonshiners and out-of-town criminals, while his abilities to settle community problems with common-sense advice, mediation, and conciliation make him popular with his fellow citizens. His professional life, however, is complicated by the gaffes of his inept deputy, Barney Fife. Barney is portrayed as Andy's cousin in the first, second, and sixth episodes, but is never again referenced as such. Andy socializes with male friends in the Main Street barbershop and dates various ladies until a schoolteacher becomes his steady interest in season 3. At home, Andy enjoys fishing trips with his son, Oppie, and quiet evenings on the front porch with his maiden aunt and housekeeper, Aunt Bee. Oppie tests his father's parenting skills season after season, and Aunt Bee's ill-considered romances and adventures cause her nephew concern. Andy's friends and neighbors include barber Floyd Lawson, service station attendants and cousins Gomer Pyle and Goober Pyle, and local drunkard Otis Campbell. There were two mayors, Mayor Pike, who was more relaxed, and Mayor Stoner, who had a more assertive personality. On the distaff side, townswoman Clara Edwards, Barney's sweetheart Thelma Lou and Andy's schoolteacher sweetheart Helen Crump become semi-regulars. Ellie Walker is Andy's girlfriend in the first season, while Peggy McMillan is a nurse who becomes his girlfriend in season 3. Ernest T. Bass made his first appearance in episode number 94. In the color seasons, County Clerk Howard Sprague and handyman Emmett Clark appear regularly, while Barney's replacement deputy Warren Ferguson appears in season 6. Unseen characters such as telephone operator Sarah, and Barney's love interest, local diner waitress Juanita Beasley, as mentioned in the first season, are often referenced. In the series' last few episodes, farmer Sam Jones debuts, and later becomes the lead of the show's sequel, Mayberry RFD. Don Knotts, Inetta Corsort, Jack Dodson, and Betty Lynn also appeared on Andy Griffith's later show Matlock episodes. The show comprises 8 full seasons and 249 episodes, 159 episodes in black and white and 90 in color. Griffith appears in all 249 episodes, with Howard coming in second at 209. Only Griffith, Howard, Bavier, Knotts, and Hope Summers appeared in all 8 seasons. Knotts left the show at the end of season 5 to pursue a career in films, but returned to make 5 guest appearances as Barney in seasons 6 through 8. His last appearance in the final season, in a story about a summit meeting with Russian dignitaries, ranked 11th among single comedy programs most watched in television between 1962–1984. With an audience of 33.5 million, the color episodes of the show in its later years are markedly different from the black and white episodes of the first 5 seasons. New writers took over the script writing for the post-Knotts color seasons, and they generally abandoned the character-based sitcom format in favor of dry humor revolving around rather mundane aspects of life in a small town, reruns, spin-offs, and reunions. In 1964, daytime reruns began airing. The show was retitled Andy of Mayberry to distinguish the repeat episodes from the new episodes airing in prime time. As of 2015, the show has been seen in syndication for 51 years. At the end of season 4, the backdoor pilot, Gomer Pyle, USMC, aired, and, the following September, the spin-off series Gomer Pyle, USMC, debuted with Jim Nabors in the role of Gomer and Frank Sutton as drill instructor Sergeant Vince Carter. In the last episodes of the series, the character Sam Jones, played by Ken Berry, was introduced, and a sequel series, Mayberry RFD, was fashioned around him for the fall of 1968. Several performers reprised their original roles in the sequel, with Bavier becoming Sam's housekeeper. To create a smooth transition from the original series to RFD, Andy and Helen were married in the first episode, remained for a few additional episodes, and then left the show, with a move to Raleigh effectively ending their appearances. After RFD's cancellation in 1971, George Lindsay played Goober for many years on the popular country variety show Hee Haw. In 1986, the reunion telemovie Return to Mayberry was broadcast, with several cast members reprising their original roles. Absent, however, was Frances Bavier. She was living in Siler City, North Carolina in ill health, and declined to participate. In the TV movie, Aunt Bee is portrayed as deceased, with Andy visiting her grave. Griffith and Howard reprised their roles a final time for a Funny or Die skit supporting the 2008 presidential campaign of Barack Obama. Reception. Ratings. The Andy Griffith Show consistently placed in the top 10 during its run. Note: the highest average rating for the series is in bold text. A Nielsen study conducted during the show's final season indicated the show ranked No. 1 among blue-collar workers, followed by The Lucy Show and Gunsmoke. Among white-collar workers, the show ranked No. 3 following Saturday Movies and The Dean Martin Show. The show is one of only 3 shows to have its final season be the number 1 ranked show on television, the other 2 being I Love Lucy and Seinfeld. In 1998, more than 5 million people a day watched the show's reruns on 120 stations. Awards and nominations. Emmys. 1961 Outstanding Performance in a Supporting Role by an Actor or Actress in a Series. Don Knotts won Outstanding Program Achievement in the Field of Humor, nominated. 1962 Outstanding Performance in a Supporting Role by an Actor. Don Knotts won Outstanding Program Achievement in the Field of Humor, nominated. 1963 Outstanding Performance in a Supporting Role by an Actor. Don Knotts won 1966 Outstanding Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in a Comedy. Don Knotts for The Return of Barney Fife won 1967 Outstanding Comedy Series, nominated. Outstanding Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in a Comedy. Don Knotts for Barney Comes to Mayberry won Outstanding Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in a Comedy. Frances Bavier won TV Land Awards Favorite Second Banana. Don Knotts won Single Dad of the Year. Andy Griffith won Legend Award. won Merchandise and Pop Culture. Dell Comics published To The Andy Griffith Show comic books during the show's first run. In 2004, copies in near mint condition were priced in excess of $500 each. The show's enduring popularity has spawned considerable merchandise since its first run, including board games, bobblehead dolls, kitchenware, books, and other items. In 2007, a line of canned foods inspired by the series was made available in grocery stores across America. Griffith's hometown of Mount Airy, North Carolina annually hosts a week-long Mayberry Days celebration featuring concerts, parades, and appearances by the show's players. Kurt Cobain wrote a song titled Floyd the Barber that was recorded on Nirvana's first album, Bleach. In the song, Floyd, Barney, Opie and Aunt B hold him captive after he comes in for a shave, torturing and murdering him. In 1997, the episode, Opie the Birdman, was ranked No. 24 on TV Guide's 100 Greatest Episodes of All Time. In 2002, TV Guide ranked The Andy Griffith Show 9th on its list of the 50 best shows of all time. Bravo ranked Andy Taylor 63rd on their list of the 100 greatest TV characters. The cable television network TV Land erected bronze statues of Andy and Opie in Mount Airy and Raleigh, North Carolina. The Taylor home in Clear Lake, Wisconsin, is a bed and breakfast modeled after the Taylor home. The Mayberry Cafe in Danville, Indiana features Aunt Bee's fried chicken and a replica of Andy's Ford Galaxy police car. In 2013, TV Guide ranked The Andy Griffith Show number 15 on their list of the 60 greatest shows of all time. Video releases in the late 1980s, Premiere Promotions released various episodes on VHS. Most tapes had either 2 or 4 episodes. In the early to mid-1990s, United American Video released VHS tapes of various episodes. They either had 2 or 3 episodes. These compilations were culled from episodes early in the show's run that had lapsed into the public domain. These episodes continue to be circulated on unofficial video releases. Between 2004 and 2006, Paramount Home Entertainment and later in 2006, CBS DVD released all 8 seasons as single-season packages on Region 1 DVD. The complete series was released as a boxed set in 2007 and includes the pilot from The Danny Thomas Show, the telemovie Return to Mayberry, and an episode from Gomer Pyle, USMC. Featuring Ron Howard. 16 episodes from the season 3 are available on discount DVDs. The public domain status of these 16 episodes has been challenged, however, by the 2007 lawsuit CBS Operations Inc. v. Real Funds International Inc., which ruled that there was a valid copyright on those episodes and prevented the defendant, a public domain distributor, from distributing the episodes within the jurisdiction of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Texas. On February 16, 2016, CBS Home Entertainment will re-release a repackaged version of the complete series set at a lower price. Note: The Region 1 release of the third season contains 2 episodes edited for syndication: The Darlings Are Coming, which had several scenes cut, and Barney Mends a Broken Heart, which had its epilogue cut.